we serve.
And welcome back to Monroe Monday, June the 6th. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Moving on to our next guest, Renee Prophet Brown with the Gomalian Lions Club. We'll have the 2022 River Run.
River Race.
River Run.
Yes, we are. It's going to be this Saturday. This is our, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 12th annual River Run.
River Race.
You got me all messed up. I swear.
Wait for you to say it.
It's the River Race. Okay,
River
it's presented by the Gamel Lions Club. This is a fundraiser that we do every year. This year, our funds for this are going to be going to make much needed repairs to the Gamel Lions Club community building on Fountain Run Road. So what is the River Race? So there's 3 different categories. There's a men's kayak, a women's kayak, and a canoe. It costs $25 to put in and float down the river. Last year, our fastest time was just under an hour. It was like 52 minutes or something is the girl that won it. That was her time. So I know last year we got asked the question what the distance of the race was, and I still don't have an answer to that, but I can tell you that it takes about an hour to float down the river. Last year the waters were up though. You know, we'd had all those flood rains and everything like that, and the water was almost dangerous. It was going so fast. We had the Barron County dive team with us last year. They'll be with us again this year. They really helped us last year get some of those kayaks stopped because that water was going so fast. However, this year it doesn't look like we're going to have that same problem. You know, we're just in some dry conditions. The river's down, so it would be more safe for kids this year. You know, because the water's slower. And we've got that. So if you want to participate in the race, it's like I said, it's $25, and there's the 3 categories, and you put in it's the Peden Farm off of Highway 87. It's on East Fork Creek, and the finish line is down at Holcomb's Bottom on Barron River. If you don't know where Holcomb's Bottom is, it's just Bug Tussle Road. You go down, you leave Gamel and go down Bug Tussle Road. There'll be all kinds of signs pointing where to go, like big red arrows. You can't miss. We're the only event happening that day. So all the arrows and all the directions leaving Gamel will point you towards the river race. We do have a few new things going on this year with the river race. And it's not just for the racers. So, you know, if you put in, somebody's got to be down at Holcomb's Bottom to drive you back to your vehicle if you're by yourself. Or a lot of family members will come down there. And last year, you know, we kind of just ate and waited for everybody to come in. Well, this year, JD's Barbecue from Gamel is going to be doing our food. I'm pretty sure that Stuart and Sharon Pickhock and their snow cone truck are going to be down there. Again, we're going to have the legendary Holcomb's ice cream, that homemade ice cream that Anthony Holcomb makes. And then there'll be face painting for the kids. There'll be a duck race for the kids. What I mean by a duck race is it's not real live ducks. They're little plastic ducks that you put a number on, and they'll just put them in the water, and you know, each kid will get a duck with a number, and they'll get a prize at the end. And we have invited our vendors, or not our vendors, but our sponsors, to set up as vendors this year. So if you, we go around and we ask for donations and we ask for sponsorships, and any of our sponsors, our sponsorships start at $50, and any of our sponsors that want to are able to set up a vendor booth down on the bottom this year. What we don't know yet, we won't know this till probably Friday, because it's all dependent on the weather and how much rain we get this week, is whether the vendors will be set up at the barn where you get the ice cream, or whether they'll be down actually on the bottom where you get the food. Either way, we have invited our sponsors to do that. I don't know how many sponsors will actually do that, but this is something that we're trying to move towards. If you've done the river race before, you know that there's a scavenger hunt. And what that is like while you're floating down the river, you'll see signs to watch for snakes or look for a dinosaur. Well, we have some new additions to that this year. I'm going to say this so everybody in the county can hear me. Do not shoot the alligator. Please do not shoot the alligator when you're floating down the river. You'll know what I'm talking about if you participate in the race. And that's all I can say about that right now. So I'm pretty excited about some of the new additions that we're doing, and giving the kids some stuff to do down on the water this year. One main thing that I do need everybody to hear is that, and everybody listened to it last year, and we're grateful for that, is to practice water safety. You know, smart water safety. If you're participating in the race, or if you're just somebody coming to watch the race, you know, it's always a good idea to have life jackets on the kids, or some sort of a flotation device when they're down next to the water, especially if you're on a kayak or a canoe. It's required that you wear a life jacket of some form, and that's just for obvious reasons. You know, we ask that everybody that attends and everybody that participates practice smart water safety. Like I said, we will have rescue divers and the dive team there to help us out in the event that something goes wrong, but it's up to us to do our part, and that those we won't have life jackets or floaties for sale there. That's something that you'll need to plan for and bring that yourself. I'm trying to think what else. The kayak giveaway. We'll be giving away a kayak just like we do every year on Saturday. And if you want to get a ticket for that, we've still got plenty of tickets available. They're $5 each, or 5 for $20. You can buy the tickets up until time to give the kayak away. If you're interested in buying a ticket for a chance to win the kayak, you can see any one of the Gamel Lions Club members: Donnie Peden, Jeff Pear, myself, Tim Profit, George Wilson, Carrie Stinson, gosh, there's so many, Perry Humes. I know I'm forgetting somebody, and I'm sorry. Bob Greer, you too. These are Gamel Lions Club members, so if you want a chance on the kayak, just reach out to one of us on either Facebook Messenger, look us up in the phone book, or come down to the race on Saturday. You do not have to be present to win the kayak. You just have to have purchased the ticket ahead of time. And I'm trying to think. Y'all have any questions?
You know, like you said, you know, if you're going to be in the race, you have to have a life jacket. If you don't have a life jacket, you're not going to be in the race.
That's true. One more thing about our sponsorships. If you want to be a sponsor for this event, what happens is once you pledge to be a sponsor, you'll get your name on all of our signs. And we have different sponsorship levels. You can do a $50 sponsorship, a $100 sponsorship, or you could be a corporate sponsor for $200. And what the corporate sponsorship is if you've seen any of our flyers out, it'll say Gamel Lions Club Annual River Race presented by South Central Farm Supply this year. Well, last year, South Central Farm Supply won the corporate race. So when you become a corporate sponsor for this event, you get 3 entries into the race. You don't have to use all 3 of those entries. You can just have 1 racer, or you can have 3 racers race for your company. It doesn't have to be an employee. It doesn't have to be a family member. You can get any racer that you want to kayak or canoe down that river on behalf of your company. And then whichever corporate sponsor wins the race, they become our title sponsor for the next year. And that's how South Central Farm Supply has their name on all of our flyers, and they'll have big signs that day showing that they're a corporate sponsor because they won the race last year. They won the corporate race last year. And how the scores are tallied is if you've got 3 racers, you just add all those times together and divide them by 3, and you've got your race total. You know, there's a lot of maths that go into it, and I'm not going to sit and pretend like I know how to do all the math stuff for it on tallying the scores on the radio today. But we do have a retired math teacher that comes down there and helps us tally up our scores, and I trust that she knows what she's doing. So she does she's been doing the tallying for a few years now. So
how many participants do you usually have?
Oh my goodness. I want to think that we had something close to 60 last year. 60 vessels went into the water. Now, of course, a canoe can have more than 1 person on it, and a kayak can have more than 1 person on it. You know, they have 2-seater kayaks now, but it's one. You know, a lot of the people that would do a 2-seater kayak aren't they're just there for the fun of it. They're not there to win the race. So we had, I want to say 57, but it could be lower than that. So I'm just going to round up and go. I'm pretty sure we had close to 60 vessels in the water last year. And like I said, last year that water was rolling fast. I mean, I got in that water. We were setting up the finish line. Of course, we have these things. Well, I know you can't see me using my hands on the radio.
But they do on the video.
Oh, okay. Here we have a video. We have this finish line that you have to go through these 2 poles, and it has a banner hanging above it, and the objective is to come through that finish line to finish. And we were setting up that finish line last year, and that water was, I mean, it was moving so fast. Well, I got down in it and slipped, and thank goodness my husband, rescue diver, was with me, because
caught you on down the river, huh?
He caught me on down the river. I hooked onto a root.
You and won the race.
And I mean, that's how fast that water was moving last year, and that's why we tried to stress to everybody to make sure that if you were going to have kids or you were going to be down next to that water watching that race, that they had some sort of a flotation device on them, because I mean, it could have gotten dangerous. Thank goodness we didn't have any incidents that the dive team needed to rescue anyone, but they did stop a lot of kayaks that couldn't get turned into the finish line because they were going so fast. Again, unless we have some sort of force of nature come through in the next few days, this year is going to be a lot different than last year. Like I said, water levels are down, the water's not moving as fast, so if you are participating, you know, you're going to get a lot more exercising using those oars going down the river per se than just going with the flow. But, you know, as far as I know, last year was the highest and the fastest that the water's ever been for the race. So if you've participated in other years further back than last year, this year will be more like that, you know, more laid back and easy going. So,
all right, finishing off, just give us the date, the times, and location.
all right, so it's going to be this Saturday, June 11th. You can put your kayaks or canoes in from 10 till 12 on East Fork Creek off of Highway 87. Again, that's going to be one of Donnie Peden's farms going out of Gamelia. You'll see the signs. You'll finish up on Holcomb's Bottom, and that's just, you just take Bug Tussle Road until you see the signs with the red arrows, and you follow those down to Holcomb's Bottom, and that's where the racers are going to finish up at.
Right quickly, if I'm on a kayak, I go in at 10:15. Okay, say I'm vessel number 1.
Yeah.
I go in at 10:15. So somebody writes down vessel number 1, 10:15:09. Let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when I cross the starting line. Okay, when I get to the end, I mean, do I have a number on my vessel that they can see?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You'll have a number. You have a number pinned to you, or well, you've got a number somewhere. You're issued a number. You can either keep it on your shirt or wherever. And like you said, if you put in at 10:15, they're going to write down that kayaker number 1 went in at 10:15, and then when you cross the finish line, we'll write down that time, and then you just.
Then I keep up with it till everybody's done.
Yep, and down at the bottoms where the finish line is, there's a great big whiteboard, and we've got everybody's name, their start times, their finish times, and then we'll tally up that score, you know,
right,
and put it on there so you can keep up with if you're the fastest, you know, coming through. The only ones that wouldn't know in advance is if you're the last one to put in and you're the last one to come in, you know, you can't keep up with everybody else's time. But that's how it's done. And it's Anthony Holcomb's sister. I'm so embarrassed I can't think of her name right now. Donna, if I'm not mistaken. God, she sits in front of me at church. And anyway, she's the retired math teacher, and she's the one who will tally up those scores.
It's not Nancy, is it?
No, it's Anthony Holcomb's sister, and
anyway, she's the math teacher.
Yeah, she's the math teacher. She's the one that keeps up with our tallies and does all of that. You know, I'm not going to try to sit here and explain how it's added or subtracted. You know, I'm not. But
all right, Renee, we appreciate you coming in and for the Gamay Lions Club. And like you said, it's a Saturday, and all proceeds go toward.
All the proceeds go towards the Gamay Lions Club community building this year, towards the repairs. And we do have T-shirts available. We will have T-shirts available to be bought that day, the annual River Race T-shirts.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. Hope everyone has a great day and enjoy.